Welcome back to the #1 mindset channel on YouTube. Remember, take it one day at a time. Just try to grow each and every single day. And I always emphasize the fact that you must find the beauty, the gift in each and every single day. Don't let a day go by where you don't appreciate life. And you could be going through chaos, right? Maybe you're in deep debt. Maybe you don't have the job you want. Maybe, you don't have the spouse or the relationship you want. But you always have to find that silver lining. You always have to find the positive in life, the gift that life presents us, essentially. Because if you don't, then each and every day will become stressful. Each and every day, your body will start to break down. And when your thoughts aren't right, you're not thinking the right things, you're not in a state of gratitude, that's when people start getting diseases, right? Disease is the body is not at ease, some people would say. And to prevent, not to say, obviously it's more than just your thoughts, it's your diet as well too, and what you consume. You are what you eat is actually a real thing. You are what you drink. If you're drinking poisons, alcohol, what do you think that's going to do to your body long term? When you're young, you could definitely get away with it, right? Because you're young. But as you age, you always see the effects of, let's say, the drinking, the smoking, the food, right? Over time, it compounds. And some people are lucky enough to get away with it, right? You hear those stories where people live to 90 and they smoked their whole life and they drank their whole life. But you also hear those stories where people smoked and drank and they died at 50 or they died in their 40s, right? So there's no telling when you can expire or pass on, because that's just life, right? You can live the cleanest life and then God decides that he's going to take you. But if you do live right, if you do live clean, if you do put the right food into your body, the right words into your body, then you do stand a better chance out here, right? So that's why I always say, no matter what's happening in your life, no matter what's going on, you must always find that silver lining, the gift that life has to offer, right? If you do the research or, you go on Google or ChatGPT, you realize how rare it was for you to be born. And some people take that for granted. They take it for granted. They don't realize that being on this earth is a gift. And it always blows my mind when people complain, about things. People complain about the job that they have or their bosses, their managers. And I'm just like, if you actually look at the bigger picture in the world, so take yourself out of this small environment that you're thinking about, that you're stressing about, and you look at the world as a whole. Like, what's happening in the world? Like, where there's countries where people are not eating, where there's countries where people don't have clean drinking water, and you got a job that you go to, and you're complaining about your boss, you're complaining about your coworkers, you're complaining about the job itself. It's just like, where have you gone? Why have you not realized that the things that you actually take for granted are things that people wish that they had? People would die for a job in some African countries, right? Or some third world countries, I should say. Not just African, but third world countries. They would die for a job just to put some money in their bank account. Or even countries that aren't third world, but the population is crazy, right? So many people in that country that, it's hard to get employment. It's hard to get a job. Those people would die for employment. But you have people who go to work and they complain about the job. They complain about their coworkers. They complain about their managers. Like, put things into perspective. It's like, what has this world come to where we've been given things, and no matter what we've been given, we complain. Even the gift of social media, even the gift to come online and post the content. I could care less if my video goes viral or, I get paid from this. Just the gift of being able to have freedom of speech. How many people don't even have freedom of speech? They can't say what they want to say. They can't believe in the religion that they want to believe in. Some people get, taken out for believing in certain things. But yeah, here we are given all this opportunity to speak and say what we want online. And then, we complain. We take it for granted. So enough of that. It's not actually helping you excel or move forward or attract, what you want to your life. So change your approach. If you come across this channel, there's a reason why you're brought on this channel, because so many times I've been on different channels, or I was attracted to different channels, and I didn't realize why I was there until I finished watching the video, and I realized that, God, for me, I believe in God. For you, some of you guys, it could potentially be the universe. We're brought to that video so you can learn something, so you can grow somewhere. So if you're watching this, like I just said, make sure that, you're actually listening, but you're also applying. You're listening to what I have to say, and then you're going back and now you're applying it, because the application part is the main thing. Don't be someone that just consumes, but doesn't actually change things. Because once I was in a place where I consumed, but I actually was not producing. I consumed all this content, right? But I never produced. So one day I'm like, you know what? I'm consuming, but let me produce. So I started producing. It's all about producing. It's good to consume. It's great to consume because you learn so much, but you have to start producing, all right? You have to start producing. So I do have an ebook in my bio. You can start there by purchasing that ebook to get your mind in the right place, to get your mind in the right state of mind. And then once you've completed that ebook, start creating your life. Write down your goals. Figure out what you want. Go after your passions. Find the things that you're passionate about and go after them. Stop chasing the next trend or the next fad. Forget about that. Go after what you're passionate about, because if you're just chasing the next trend, one thing I learned about chasing the next trend is if you're just taking the next trend, but there's no passion in it, when things get hard in that trend or whatever, or that fad, are you going to continue to keep going? No, you're just going to quit. And then you're going to have to find something else. So you might as well find something that you can stick with for a long period of time. Something that you can stick with it for an extended period of time, instead of, just trying to find the next trend. That you get into something and you grow in that something. So figure out what that is for you. It's different for everybody, but you can definitely figure it out what it is. Take some time, go to the woods, go to the forest, reflect and figure that out. You take time to watch Netflix, but you won't take time to look into your life and figure out what your passion is, what your purpose is on this earth, and why you're here. Don't be consumed by those things. Netflix, who are profiting hugely off you. We're making billions. The owners, the shareholders, people are profiting off you just watching these episodes. And a lot of these episodes are just like, it's like a temporary high or a temporary fix for your life. No, that's not what you need. You need to really dig deep. Figure out, why am I here? Be intentional. Time is of the essence. If we only have so much time, Why would you want to waste your time that you have on this earth just on mindless entertainment, things that don't really matter, don't move you closer to your goals, don't push you forward? All right, so you have to ask yourself these questions. If you are enjoying my content, please like, share, subscribe, comment. All right, so peace and love for now. Marcel Hyde Mindset.